Hey, this is Ryan from Web Eminence. I'm going to take a look at press releases today and show you what you can expect as a small business owner when you publish a press release and see what the benefits are. I'm going to show you some examples of a press release I published along with a few others that I did for clients so you can kind of get an example of what you can expect. Press releases have been around much longer than the internet as a way for press agencies to get information to journalists and news agencies about their clients just to raise publicity. And with the growth of the internet and the realization several years ago that press releases had a huge effect on SEO, search engine optimization, many search engine optimizers abused and overused press releases just to get rankings for themselves and their clients. So recently, Google has announced that press releases do not have as much value for search engine optimization. So many people just have thrown them aside and don't use them anymore. But the point of this video is to show you that they do have some value still. And the goal with a press release should not be to influence search engines, but it should be to release important news. So if you have something newsworthy, like you're launching a new company, or your company is releasing a new product, or you're reaching major milestones in your business, anything that you believe is newsworthy is worth submitting a press release for. So just to give you an example, here's a press release I released a couple months ago. This is published on October 22nd, 2013. And I wrote this. You see the title is Cutting Edge Web Design Company Web Eminence Caps Client Base at 200, Aims to Stay Small. So I wrote this just about my own company and how I'm only accepting 200 clients and how that's unique in the web design industry. So it's just a basic overview of my company, and I have a couple links to my website. Now, in the past, many SEO companies and individuals would abuse press releases by stuffing lots of links in here and having the anchor text optimized for lots of different keywords. Like they might just put website service in here 20 times or put affordable website in here along with 20 other keywords. As you can see, I only have 2 links on this press release: website service and Web Eminence University, which is a link to my blog. So you want to make sure you don't overdo it with links and just put what's relevant to the news that you're releasing. As you can see, I published my release with prweb.com, and I actually used their $250 service. At least it's $250 right now, and it's called their advanced package. It's actually $249. And now let me show you some of the results that I got from this press release. If we look at my website statistics, this is actually for October 2013, the entire month, and the press release was published on October 22nd. So in just the last 8 or 9 days of October, you can see the press release was my largest refer of traffic to my website. Now, I don't get tons of traffic to my site. I get 100 or 200 unique visitors per day. So I don't have huge refers, but still I have some decent referral statistics, and the PR Web press release was the highest refer for the month in just 9 days. So that shows you something. I did get some traffic from the press release. And if I go into my Vocus Marketing account where I submitted the press release, they give me some summary statistics. In the days since the press release has been released, I've had about 1,000 reads of the press release. Interactions are people who've clicked or done something on the press release, and there's 53 of those. And this shows impressions of the headline, which is some 41,000. There's some other interesting information, like media delivery shows the media outlets that the press release was delivered to. Online pickup shows where the news was picked up, and here's where you can get some decent links back to your website or just traffic back to your press release. And all these links back to the press release URL is going to cause the press release to rank pretty well in search engines. So one thing to keep in mind when you're writing a press release is the title of the release will usually rank fairly well for the first few words in the title. So in my case, if I took cutting edge web design company and search for that in Google, you'll see the press release shows up number 1. And that's not a huge traffic keyword, but it shows you that the press release does rank. It was ranking in the first few weeks for the term cutting edge web design, but after several weeks, it's not anymore. Press releases, since they are news, tend to rank well for maybe a period of a month, and they can fade off after that. Also, if I were to Google my own business name, we will probably see the press release show up. Here's my website showing up number 1 and some of my other social profiles. And you see the press release is showing up on the second page. I believe in the weeks after the press release was released, it was number 2 or 3. So that's another benefit of a press release. You can often rank very well for your company name depending on the competition. So if we go back to my Vocus account, you can click on some of these websites to see the release live on other sites. So here's one site that published the release, and they have the text and the links, and they just link back to the PR Web press release. So most of these sites here are going to publish the release and link back to the release page. And that's why the release page on prweb.com ranks fairly well. So those are the statistics on my results from this press release. It's about what I expected. Press releases are not a golden ticket by any means. You're not going to get millions of visitors in a few months by submitting a press release, but for many small businesses who get very few visitors to their website, it's a big deal to get 1,000 reads on their press release in a few months and also get a lot of traffic to their website. So there's definitely positive benefits, and even though Google has said there's no SEO value, I do think that if you submit press releases over time, it's going to build some authority for your domain with so many links back to your site from news sources, and it's going to help your site rank over time and just be more popular overall, especially if you're a small business website with very little authority for your website to begin with. So let me show you a few other examples of press releases I did for clients just to get you an idea of what you can expect. One press release I did in the last few weeks was for a tour company called Paraiso Destiny. So if you Google that right now, you see their press release shows up number 1. Here's another link to their press release on topics.com. And then their website is number 4 right now. It's a brand new website, so that's probably why it's not ranked really high. So you can see the benefit here of getting a position in search engines when your company name is typed in Google. And that can be really important, like if you're having a grand opening for a company and you want to get some exposure really fast. So if we click on the link, you'll see their press release here with just a couple links back to their site. And you can see their company name is the first word in the title, so that's one of the reasons that it's ranking really well for that search term. If we were to type in travel service in Punta Cana, probably not going to show up because it's a very competitive term. In this press release, got really similar results compared to mine in terms of news pickups and overall traffic, so I'm not going to show you that. But let me show you one other example of a release I did just a few days ago for a company called Allstate Courier. So if you Google Allstate Courier right now, this press release was actually picked up by a pretty big website, Newsday, and you see 1, 2, 3, 4th result in Google right now is the press release on newsday.com. So I'll go ahead and click on that. And you can see the full release with a few links. And then here's the link to the actual press release. And you'll see the first words in the title are Boston Courier. So if I were to Google Boston Courier, which is a really competitive term, the press release has been showing up on the first page under news. Again, this Newsday site has been showing up. So the press release itself isn't showing up, but because it got picked up by newsday.com, it's actually showing on the first page for a very competitive term, Boston Courier, which has over 20 million results and a lot of big national companies competing for the top spots. If I was to go to the second page, I think that's where the company's website is actually ranked. Right here, number 11, it's actually moved up a few spots in the last couple days. If you were to Google Boston Courier Allstate, you're probably going to see the press release show up. Yeah, here is their website. And then number 2 is prweb.com, the actual press release. And then the third is the Newsday pickup of the release. And actually fourth is also a topics.com pickup of the release. So in this case, it's great for this courier service because if someone was looking for them and they typed in Boston Courier Allstate trying to find their website, they'd find their website, and they'd also pretty much this whole page is dominated by things for Allstate Courier, so they don't have to worry about someone clicking a competitive link. There's a few down here, but it's nice to take up all the real estate on the search result page, and having a press release active allows you to do that. So you can see from those few examples that there are some benefits to press releases. You're not going to get a #1 ranking for a huge keyword with 10,000 searches a day, but you definitely can get some meaningful traffic back to your website and some popularity for your domain that will usually last 3 or 4 months depending on how long the press release stays up in the search engine. Over time, they'll naturally move down in the rankings. You're going to get the most traffic in the first week after the press release, and then they'll kind of move down in the rankings after that. So it is good to release press releases on a regular basis. For a small business, I would usually recommend doing 2 to 4 per year according to your budget. And the real determinant for when to release a press release is when you have something newsworthy, because the more newsworthy your press release is, the more likely that it will get picked up by more news agencies and websites, and the more people that pick it up, the more traffic and benefits you're going to get from the press release. So if you're a small business with a website and you've never done a press release, I would recommend getting your first press release out there and just see what kind of results you can get. Like I said, you can buy them on prweb.com for $250, and they do have some other packages as low as $99. If you're watching this video within a few months of me posting it, I can actually help you out in writing and publishing a press release in this advanced category for less than the $250 price on prweb.com, just because of a package that I purchased. I have access to a number of them that I'm not using, and I'm making them available to my clients first, but if I have extras, I can definitely make them available to you if you get in touch with me. So hopefully that helps you understand press releases and what they can do for your small business. Make sure to read the blog post that I wrote on this topic. There's probably some more information in there that I didn't cover in this video. I'll link to the post in or below this video, so make sure to check that out. If you have any questions, make sure to comment below or feel free to contact me. And if you would just take a second to click the like button on YouTube if you're watching the video there, it'll help more people find this video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.